Listen closely. Because if your spirit led you here, it is not random, ordinary, or coincidental. Something sacred has been stirring around your life, something invisible yet undeniable. Something that makes your heart lean forward even now as you hear these words. You didn't stumble across this message. You were drawn into it, pulled by a quiet divine gravity that only rests upon those who are chosen, marked and set apart for something greater than anything they've ever known before. Right now, heaven is whispering over your life. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. Confirmation that you are seen, confirmation that you are guided, confirmation that your journey has not been an accident, but a carefully authored story written by divine hands. You've walked through seasons where things didn't make sense, moments where the path twisted unexpectedly, times where you felt delayed, overlooked, misunderstood, or pushed aside. Yet despite it all, something in you refused to die. Something in you refused to break. Something in you kept believing, even when logic tried to silence your faith. That something was purpose. That something was calling. That something was heaven, refusing to let you fade into ordinary life. You may have questioned yourself. You may have wondered if you were imagining things. You may have asked, why does it feel like something bigger is happening in my life? And here in this very moment, the answer arrives like a key fitting into a sacred lock. Because you have been confirmed. Confirmed as chosen. Confirmed as protected. Confirmed as destined. There is a shift taking place around you, a divine alignment, moving quietly yet powerfully. Doors that once ignored you are beginning to sense your presence. Situations that once resisted you are beginning to yield. People who once overlooked you will soon witness what heaven has always known: you were never ordinary, and your journey was never random. Every delay, every stretch of silence, every hidden struggle was preparation, positioning, and refinement. This message comes to remind you what is happening is intentional, sacred, purposeful, and it has already been confirmed in the heavens before manifesting in your life. Something greater is unfolding, and you are right on time. And this certainty, this holy assurance resting over your life, is not born from human motivation or emotional imagination. It comes from a higher place. It comes from a voice that has echoed since before you were even born. It comes from the one who formed you, watched you, carried you, and has quietly guided every chapter of your story, even in moments when you couldn't see his hand at all. This is heaven leaning close to you. This is God confirming what your spirit has been sensing for a long time. There are moments in life when the soul recognizes something before the mind understands it. Moments when you feel a pull, a stirring, a divine tension, as though the air around you is charged with unseen purpose. That is where you are right now. You are standing in a sacred intersection between what has been prepared and what is about to unfold. And the one who authored your destiny is now speaking clarity into what once felt uncertain. For so long you may have prayed in silence, cried in private, and carried questions without answers. You wondered if heaven heard you. You wondered if God remembered you. But what you didn't realize is that while you were questioning, he was preparing. While you were waiting, he was aligning. While you were enduring, he was confirming things in the unseen realm that would eventually manifest in your reality. This message carries the sound of his intention. It does not come to flatter you. It does not come to simply make you feel good. It comes to awaken you to truth. It comes to align your heart with what heaven has already decided. It comes to remind you that God has been walking with you not only in the victories, but in the valleys, the lonely rooms, the uncertain roads, and the quiet nights when your spirit whispered, "There has to be more." That whisper was not desperation. It was revelation. He has seen your resilience. He has seen your tears that never made it past your pillow. He has seen the strength you didn't know you had but kept using anyway. And He is saying, I have not overlooked you. I have confirmed you. This is not chance alignment. This is divine orchestration. Every closed door that confused you, every delay that frustrated you, every separation that hurt you, every unexpected turn that forced you to grow, none of it escaped His awareness. Each part played a role in shaping your spirit, refining your faith, and positioning you for what comes next. God does not prepare average souls with extraordinary pressure. He prepares those He intends to elevate with deliberate precision. So hear this with calm strength in your spirit. What surrounds your life right now is not chaos, it is construction. What feels uncertain is actually divine rearrangement. What feels unfamiliar is the landscape of destiny taking shape. Heaven has acknowledged you. Heaven has validated you. Heaven has confirmed you. And now the next layer begins to unfold. Because when God confirms something, He does not simply speak it, He reveals it. And what is coming next is not a vague idea, not a faint hope, but a prophetic unveiling prepared specifically for your journey. Let us step deeper. So as we move deeper into this unfolding revelation, understand that what is approaching your life is not accidental movement. Something sacred has already been set into motion. Something divinely appointed is making its way toward you, and even now the atmosphere around your journey has shifted to make room for it. The confirmation you're experiencing is not simply reassurance. It is a signal that the next phase of your destiny has begun its descent into your reality. There is a moment in every divine story where what was once hidden begins to emerge, where things that were quietly forming in silence begin to take shape in plain sight. That is where you are standing now. You are stepping into a season where what God whispered in private will begin to echo publicly, where what you carried quietly within your spirit will begin to align with tangible evidence in your life. It will not arrive with chaos. It will unfold with precision. It will not come as confusion. It will come as clarity. What has been confirmed over you is that your life is entering a divinely orchestrated turning point, a shift, a holy recalibration, an intentional redirection wrapped in purpose. It is as though the path ahead of you is being illuminated one step at a time, not all at once, but enough for you to know that you are no longer wandering. You are being led. In this prophetic unveiling, expect unexpected alignment. Expect connections that make sense in ways you couldn't explain before. Expect doors that were once sealed to begin responding to your presence. Expect peace where there used to be anxiety. Expect strength where there used to be weariness. Expect unprecedented clarity in places where confusion once lived. This is not coincidence. This is divine scheduling. You will notice that certain situations in your life will begin to transition. Some will resolve. Some will close. Some will open. Some will reveal their true nature. Don't panic when this begins happening. Don't assume loss. Don't assume chaos. What may feel like shifting ground beneath your feet is actually God removing what cannot journey forward with you and securing what must remain for the next chapter. And yes, there will be surprise in this season. You will see things happen that you didn't see coming. You will witness moments that feel almost supernatural in their timing. A message at the exact right moment. An opportunity when you had nearly given up. A breakthrough that arrives when your strength felt thin. These will serve as reminders that heaven has synchronized your life with divine timing. There is also a deeper unveiling happening within you, not just around you. Internally, something is awakening. A boldness, a clarity, a quiet confidence anchored not in pride, but in purpose. You will find yourself understanding things you once questioned. You will recognize why certain seasons were so difficult. You will realize that what broke you actually built you, that what delayed you actually prepared you, that what hurt you actually refined you. And in that realization, fear will begin to lose its grip because you will see that God has been intentional with you all along. Some will not understand this new season of yours. Some will question why your presence feels different, why your spirit feels stronger, why your energy carries weight. But this is what happens when heaven confirms someone. You do not simply step into change, you become change. You don't merely experience transformation, you embody it. This prophecy is not promising a life without challenge. It is declaring a life with direction. It is not saying everything will suddenly become easy. It is saying everything will begin to make sense. And when life begins to make sense through God's lens, strength rises. Faith stabilizes. Vision sharpens. And you begin to walk not as someone hoping something will happen, but as someone who knows something has already been set in motion. So as this unveiling continues, stay aware, stay spiritually attentive, stay grounded. Because the journey ahead is not random terrain. It is sacred ground. Every step forward is part of a divine sequence. Every moment unfolding is part of a larger orchestration. What is coming toward you is confirmation becoming manifestation, promise becoming experience, destiny becoming reality. And this is only the beginning of what heaven intends for you. Now let us go even deeper, into the meaning beneath the mystery, the purpose beneath the prophecy, and the divine truth hidden within everything you are beginning to feel and witness. What is unfolding around you is more than a season. It is more than a lucky break, more than emotional hope, more than motivation. It is a divine pattern manifesting. And to truly receive what God is doing, you must understand the depth behind it. Because when heaven confirms someone, it does not simply decorate their life with blessings. It reshapes their identity, their perception, their spirit, and their understanding of destiny itself. Everything you've walked through carried meaning. The quiet seasons, the painful seasons, the confusing seasons, the stretching seasons. None of them were wasted. They were classrooms, refining spaces, sacred workshops where God shaped your endurance, humility, wisdom, and spiritual awareness. Sometimes growth feels like loss because God removes what no longer serves who you are becoming. Sometimes transformation feels like isolation because certain spaces can't handle the weight of your calling. So if you've ever wondered why your path has been different, why your road has been heavier, why your heart has felt things deeply, the answer lies here. Purpose requires preparation, and preparation rarely feels comfortable. It feels like storms that do not destroy you, but discipline you. It feels like seasons of silence where you learn that faith is not sustained by noise, but by trust. It feels like doors closing, not to hurt you, but to reroute you into alignment with something greater than what you were settling for. Spiritually, you've been in a divine training ground, and through that training something sacred formed in you, resilience anchored in faith, discernment sharpened by experience, sensitivity to God's timing instead of desperation for your own. You have learned the rhythm of surrender. You have discovered that strength is not loud, it is steadfast. You have realized that survival does not define you, refinement does. This is where the deeper meaning unfolds. Confirmation comes when a soul has been tempered enough to handle what God is releasing. Heaven does not confirm what is still unstable. God does not endorse what is still unprepared. He confirms when the foundation has been strengthened. And your foundation has been strengthened through fire, patience, disappointment, perseverance, and unseen grace. Think of your journey as seasons. There was a winter season where things felt frozen, where movement slowed, where answers were buried under uncertainty, that was not abandonment. That was preservation. That was God keeping your purpose insulated until the right time. Then came the storm season, where everything shook, where relationships shifted, where identity trembled, where stability seemed fragile. That storm was not chaos. It was cleansing. It removed what could not stay. And now, you are entering your dawning season. The season where light begins to touch what once felt hidden. The season where clarity breaks through like morning sun after a long night. The season where you begin to see why things had to unfold the way they did. Because when dawn arrives, darkness does not negotiate. It simply retreats. And the light you are stepping into is not blinding. It is revealing. On a spiritual level, confirmation also means alignment. Heaven aligns timing opportunities, connections, vision, and inner readiness. When these elements begin synchronizing, you feel it not just with your mind, but with your spirit. You sense peace in places where you once felt panic. You sense assurance in spaces where you once felt uncertainty. You sense direction where once there was confusion. This is God saying, you are prepared. You are positioned. You are ready. There is also transformation happening internally. Your identity is being clarified. You're beginning to see yourself beyond past mistakes, beyond failures, beyond wounds, beyond fear. You are starting to view yourself the way heaven has always seen you. Intentional, significant, necessary. You are not an extra in life's story. You are a chapter that carries weight. And this clarity changes how you walk. It changes how you think. It changes how you respond to life. Because when you realize God has confirmed you, anxiety loses authority. Doubt loses influence. Fear loses voice. You don't rush anymore because you trust timing. You don't chase validation anymore because you know you are already affirmed. You don't beg doors to open because you understand the right ones are assigned to respond to you. There is also something sacred about how God moves. He does not simply give answers, He builds awareness. He does not simply provide breakthroughs, He shapes you into someone who can sustain them. And this unfolding in your life is deeply spiritual. It is not meant to inflate ego, but to awaken purpose. Not to glorify you, but to glorify Him through you. So hold this truth gently yet firmly in your spirit. What is happening is a divine exchange. Old identity is giving way to authentic identity. Old fears are bowing to renewed faith. Old limitations are dissolving under new vision. You are not just stepping into something new is rising within you. And as this deeper meaning settles into your heart, understand that heaven does not confirm without evidence. When God seals something over a life, signs begin to appear. Subtle, powerful, personal. And as we move forward, you will begin to recognize them not as coincidence, but as sacred signals echoing the truth. This has been confirmed for you. As this revelation settles deeper into your spirit, something beautiful begins to happen. Evidence starts appearing. Heaven does not confirm without signs. God does not whisper destiny and then leave you wandering in uncertainty. When He seals something over your life, subtle yet powerful indicators begin to surround you, almost like divine breadcrumbs, guiding you toward the fullness of what He has spoken. And perhaps even before you heard these words, you've already begun to notice them. One of the first signs is unexpected inner awareness. You begin to sense that something is changing even before you can explain it. Your spirit feels awake. Your mind feels more focused. Your heart feels strangely at peace, even in areas of life where confusion once ruled. There is a quiet knowing deep within you, like your soul is standing taller, like a part of you finally recognizes its place in God's larger story. This awareness is not imagination. It is alignment. Another sign is divine timing appearing in unusual ways. Moments begin falling into place with a precision you could never manufacture. Conversations arrive exactly when you need them. Encouragement appears when you feel weak. Opportunities come into view that simply feel right, not forced, not desperate, but guided. Then there are interruptions that feel suspiciously protective, where things that could have gone wrong didn't, not because of luck, but because of grace. These are confirmations that your steps are being ordered. You may also notice doors shifting. Some open gently, some swing wide, some close firmly. And though part of you may still feel tension when change happens, something inside knows it is purposeful. Relationships adjust. Environments change. Certain people fade while new connections quietly appear. This is not rejection. This is divine curation. God is arranging your life to match the season you are stepping into. Another sign is increased sensitivity to your spirit. The things that once distracted you no longer hold the same power. Conversations you used to tolerate now feel draining. Environments that once felt comfortable now feel too small. You feel a stronger pull toward prayer, reflection, stillness, purpose. Your heart becomes more intentional, more careful, more aware of what nourishes your spirit and what depletes it. This shift in spiritual appetite is confirmation that heaven is maturing you for what is coming. Then there is renewed strength. Even if everything isn't perfect yet, you don't feel defeated the way you used to. Somewhere along the journey, your resilience awakened. You've cried tears and still stood. You've walked through heaviness and still kept hope alive. That strength isn't accidental. It is proof that God has fortified your spirit, because what is ahead requires a firm soul and a steady heart. And finally, there is recognition in your spirit when truth touches you. You feel this message deeply, not as mere words, but as confirmation of what God has already been whispering. It resonates because your spirit has already met this truth before your mind processed it. That resonance is not emotional hype. It is heaven saying, yes, this is for you. When these signs appear, do not dismiss them. Do not shrink back. Do not assume coincidence. They are divine signals, markers of movement, evidence of confirmation. They remind you that the unfolding around your life is real, purposeful, and sacred. And yet, even with confirmation, the journey forward is not without difficulty. Before fulfillment always comes testing, not to break you, but to refine and strengthen what God has already affirmed in you. Let us walk into that understanding together. Even with heaven's confirmation resting over your life, the path ahead will not be without resistance. Because when God begins to position someone for greater purpose, life does not always instantly become easier. In fact, sometimes it becomes more intense. Not because you are being punished, not because you are forgotten, but because purpose attracts pressure and destiny often arrives wrapped in challenge. There will be moments in this unfolding season where you may feel tension between where you've been and where you are going. You'll feel your spirit leaning forward, longing for what God is leading you into. But parts of your old life may try to pull you backward. Old habits, familiar environments, or even people who once felt essential may suddenly feel misaligned with who you are becoming. This friction is not failure. It is transition. It is your spirit outgrowing old spaces. Another hidden challenge will be spiritual fatigue disguised as discouragement. As things begin shifting, there may still be days that feel heavy. Moments where you question whether you're truly ready. Times where doubt whispers, what if this isn't real? What if nothing changes? These doubts do not come because you lack faith. They come because the enemy recognizes that you are stepping into clarity, and clarity terrifies darkness. Opposition intensifies when breakthrough is near. There may also be seasons of unexpected silence. Even after confirmation, God may not immediately reveal every detail of what He is doing. There will be steps where you walk with faith rather than full explanation. You may not always feel emotional fireworks or spiritual sensation. Instead, you will be asked to trust steady guidance. Silence does not mean abandonment. Silence often means strategy. God sometimes quiets external noise so you can learn to trust internal conviction. Then there will be emotional challenges. You may grieve certain endings. You may feel the ache of letting go. You may wrestle with unfamiliarity as life shifts around you. Growth has a way of stretching the heart before it strengthens it. But within that stretching, you will discover emotional maturity, deeper peace, and an unwavering sense of direction, born not from comfort, but from faithfulness. There is also a test of patience. Confirmation does not mean instant arrival. It means the journey is divinely authorized. And between authorization and manifestation lies patience. You will be tempted to rush. You may feel the urge to force things, to push timing, to compel movement. But trust that what God confirms, He also completes. Your role is not to manufacture the outcome. Your role is to remain aligned, prepared, and faithful. And finally, expect spiritual resistance. Not everyone will celebrate your growth. Some may misunderstand it. Some may distance themselves. Some may question why you feel different, act different, or speak differently. But understand, elevation always reveals hearts. Confirmation exposes intention. When God begins to lift you, it becomes clear who was connected to your destiny and who was only connected to your season. Through every hidden challenge, God is not weakening you. He is fortifying you. He is strengthening your endurance. He is shaping your character to sustain the weight of what He is bringing into your life. So do not fear the challenges ahead. They are not barriers. They are bridges. They are not punishments. They are proofs. They are not signals to turn back. They are reminders to keep moving forward with faith, courage, and trust. Because after challenge always comes instruction. And heaven never confirms without guiding the way forward. Let us step into that guidance now. So now that heaven has confirmed you, and you understand the depth, the signs, and even the hidden challenges that may arise along the journey, the question becomes, what do you do next? Because confirmation is not the conclusion. It is a commissioning. It is an invitation to step with intention, awareness, and obedience into the life God has been shaping you for all along. The first instruction is anchor yourself in stillness with God. In this season, you must create intentional space to listen. Not just when you feel emotional, not just when life feels overwhelming, but consistently, quietly, reverently. Spend time in prayer, reflection, worship, or simple stillness where your spirit can breathe and God can speak. Your clarity will not come from noise. It will not come from scrolling, comparing, or rushing. It will come from sacred stillness where your heart is open and your spirit is attentive. The next instruction is guard your environment. Now that you are confirmed, your atmosphere matters more than ever. Be discerning about who speaks into your life, who has access to your mind, and what energy you allow near your spirit. There are voices that strengthen destiny and voices that suffocate it. This is a season to protect your peace, to distance yourself from chaos, to limit distractions, and to surround yourself with people, environments, and influences that align with growth, purpose, and spiritual maturity. Another instruction is walk with intentional faith rather than emotional impulse. You will not always feel destiny unfolding. There will not always be loud miracles or dramatic moments. Many of God's greatest works unfold quietly, steadily, faithfully. So choose disciplined faith. Continue showing up. Continue believing. Continue preparing. Continue doing what aligns with the person you are becoming, even on days where it feels slow. Faith is not proven in excitement. It is proven in consistency. God is also calling you to stop shrinking to make others comfortable. There will be moments where your growth makes others uneasy, where your clarity feels confronting to those still comfortable in confusion, where your strength exposes the fear of those unwilling to grow. Do not diminish yourself to be accepted. Do not silence your truth to avoid discomfort. Do not dim your light to stay relatable. You were not confirmed to remain hidden. You were confirmed to stand, to rise, and to walk in who God has called you to be. Another important instruction: release what God has already released from you. Holding on to expired seasons, old identities, past connections, and emotional weight will slow you down. Let go of what has served its purpose. Let go of what drains your spirit. Let go of what cannot come with you into this next chapter. This is not abandonment. This is alignment. You do not honor God by staying trapped in what He has already freed you from. You are also called to prepare practically as well as spiritually. Confirmation is not only spiritual, it often comes with responsibility. This may mean preparing your skills, your mindset, your habits, your discipline. It may mean organizing your life so it can sustain blessing. It may require structure, accountability, planning, maturity. God does not pour destiny into unprepared vessels. When you prepare, you demonstrate faith. When you make room, you signal readiness. Heaven honors readiness. Another divine instruction is: speak life into your future. Your words are seeds. Speak with intention. Declare strength over yourself. Declare clarity. Declare alignment. Declare faith. Stop partnering with discouragement in your speech. Stop narrating your life through fear. Begin to speak as someone who knows God is moving, someone who trusts divine timing, someone who understands that their life is unfolding under the watchful eye of heaven. Speak like someone who has been confirmed, not someone still begging to be seen. And perhaps the most powerful instruction: do not resist becoming who God is shaping you to be. Sometimes the hardest part of destiny is not believing God can do it. It is believing you can embody it. It is believing you are worthy, capable, prepared, and chosen. Do not sabotage yourself with doubt. Do not shrink from responsibility. Do not hide behind fear. Lean into the transformation. Allow yourself to evolve. Accept the grace God has given you to grow into the person He already sees when He looks at you. These instructions are not burdens. They are gifts. They are guidance. They are alignment. And as you walk in them with humility, faith, courage, and openness, you will not walk alone. Because every instruction from God is accompanied by His protection, His covering, and His presence. And that is where we now journey next, into the reassurance that you will never face any of this by yourself. And as you move forward with these instructions in your heart, hear this clearly: you are not walking into this next chapter unguarded. You are not stepping into destiny exposed or vulnerable. When God confirms someone, He does not simply call them forward. He surrounds them. He covers them. He shields them in ways both seen and unseen. Just as destiny has been placed over your life, divine protection has been assigned to accompany it. There have been moments in your past where you should have broken, but you didn't. Moments where the weight of life should have crushed your spirit, but it didn't. Situations that could have destroyed your peace, your hope, your faith. Yet somehow you survived. That survival was not by chance. That strength was not random. That preservation was not coincidence. It was evidence that heaven has always had its hand on you. Even now, God is wrapping your future in protection. There will be times ahead where you may not fully understand what He is blocking, but trust that His no is just as protective as His yes. There will be connections you lose because they were never meant to walk into this level with you. There will be opportunities that fall through because they were never aligned with your destiny. There will be doors that stay shut because behind them was a path that would have limited who you are becoming. This is protection disguised as disappointment. And beyond external protection, God is covering your spirit. He is protecting your mind from collapse. He is strengthening your heart when it feels heavy. He is calming your soul when life stretches you beyond comfort. Even in moments when you feel alone, you are not isolated. You are insulated. Heaven stands around you like a shield. God goes before you to prepare. He stands beside you to steady. And He stands behind you to guard what you cannot see. Nothing you walk into will surprise Him. Nothing coming toward you escapes His awareness. You are divinely watched over. There will also be unexpected peace in places where fear used to dominate. Peace in transitions, peace in uncertainty, peace in growth. Not because life will suddenly become perfect, but because you will begin to feel deeply that you are not handling this by yourself anymore. God is with you in the quiet moments. He is with you in decisions. He is with you in movement. He is with you in stillness. And yes, He is also protecting your purpose. He is guarding the assignment placed on your life. He is shielding the calling within you from sabotage, destruction, and confusion. When you are chosen, heaven does not merely watch you. Heaven covers you. So breathe gently. Rest into this reality. Allow assurance to settle where worry once lived. You do not need to carry constant fear about the future. You do not need to brace yourself for disaster. You do not need to assume everything will fall apart. God has already gone ahead of you. The path may stretch, but it is safe. The journey may challenge you, but you are covered. The unfolding may feel bigger than you, but He is bigger than all of it. And as this protection surrounds you, it prepares the way for the most beautiful part of this journey, the transformation, and the fulfillment that is drawing nearer with every step you take. Let us step into that vision now. And with that protection surrounding you, something extraordinary begins to unfold. Transformation does not arrive like a sudden explosion. It often begins like dawn, rising slowly over a quiet horizon. Soft at first, gentle, gradual, then stronger, brighter, unmistakable. That is how fulfillment begins to manifest in the life of someone God has confirmed. You begin noticing changes, not only around you, but within you. There will come a moment when you look back and realize you are no longer the same person who once doubted, feared, second-guessed, or questioned everything about yourself. Your voice will sound more grounded. Your decisions will carry more conviction. Your presence will feel stronger, calmer, wiser. This is not ego. This is transformation. This is what happens when someone has journeyed through refining fire and emerges not burned, but purified. Doors will begin to respond to you differently. Environments will greet you differently. Life will interact with you differently, because when God transforms someone, the world can sense it. There is a weight to you now, a spiritual authority, an authenticity that cannot be fabricated. You no longer enter situations hoping to be accepted or validated. You enter as someone who knows they are walking in alignment with divine intention. Fulfillment will not simply look like success. It will feel like peace. Peace with who you are. Peace with where you've been. Peace with where God is taking you. The anxieties that once consumed you will loosen their grip. The insecurities that once shouted so loudly will begin to whisper, then fade. You will breathe differently, stand differently, think differently. It will not mean life becomes perfect, but it will mean you will finally feel positioned instead of lost, guided instead of guessing, anchored instead of drifting. And as this inner transformation blossoms outward, fulfillment follows. Opportunities will arise not as coincidences, but as alignments. Connections will appear not as random encounters, but as divine appointments. Resources, guidance, and provision will unfold in seasons you need them most. There will be moments where you pause, look around, and realize, this is what I prayed for. This is what I waited for. This is what every trial, every delay, every hidden season was preparing me for. Fulfillment also means becoming a vessel. Your story will inspire others. Your resilience will strengthen others. Your growth will awaken hope in others who silently wonder if their lives can change too. You will carry light in your words, healing in your presence, and wisdom in your journey. Where there was once confusion, now there is clarity. Where there was once brokenness, now there is purpose. Where there was once survival, now there is assignment. And perhaps the most beautiful part, you will finally understand that nothing was wasted. Not a tear, not a prayer, not a battle, not a waiting season. You will see how beautifully God wove every chapter together, every high, every low, every turn, every lesson. You will realize that what once felt like random adversity was actually divine architecture. And standing in that realization, gratitude will rise like a holy echo from your soul. Fulfillment is not simply receiving something. It is becoming someone, becoming whole, becoming aligned, becoming the person heaven always knew you were capable of being. And as that transformation settles, as fulfillment draws nearer and begins to breathe into your life, there is one final thing heaven desires to leave with you. A blessing, a seal, a spoken covering to close this journey not in uncertainty, but in faith, peace, and expectation. Let us step into that final moment now, and now. As we stand at the closing of this prophetic journey, let your spirit remain open and your heart stay tender. Everything spoken over you was not meant to simply inspire you for a moment. It was meant to awaken something eternal within you. What has been confirmed today was never fragile. It was never uncertain. It was never temporary. It is part of who you are, and it will continue unfolding long after these words fade from your ears. So before you leave this moment, breathe deeply and let truth settle like light, gently resting on your soul. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You have been confirmed by heaven itself. Carry that assurance like armor. Carry it like identity. Carry it like breath. And now speak these affirmations gently yet boldly over your life. I am divinely guided. Not by chance, not by fear, not by uncertainty. I am guided by God's wisdom, timing, and love. My steps are ordered, my journey is intentional, and my future is secure. I am protected and covered. Nothing assigned to harm me will prosper. Nothing meant to break me will succeed. I walk under divine protection, surrounded by grace, strength, and heavenly shielding. I am aligned with purpose. I am not lost. I am not drifting. I am exactly where I am meant to be in God's unfolding plan. My life carries meaning, weight, and divine significance. I am ready to receive what God has prepared for me. With faith, with courage, with peace, I step forward, willing, open, and trusting the beautiful destiny that has been confirmed over my life. Let these words anchor you. Let them echo through every doubt, every delay, every quiet moment. Return to them when your spirit needs reminding. Speak them when fear tries to whisper. Hold them when the journey stretches you. And now receive this blessing into your heart. May clarity surround you like gentle light. May peace rest upon you like a warm covering. May courage rise in you when the road feels uncertain. May wisdom walk beside you in every decision. May strength fill you in every season of challenge. And may the presence of God remain near, guiding, guarding, nurturing, and confirming your path every step of the way. May every step ahead carry grace. May every day ahead hold purpose. May every unfolding moment remind you that heaven has already spoken over your life, and it has spoken confirmation, destiny, protection, and fulfillment. Go forward not in fear, but in faith, not in confusion, but in confidence, not searching for proof, but walking as living proof that God has confirmed you. It is done, it is sealed, and it is yours.